about the strength of economy and the sustainability of democracy. It's very important as Nigerians that we pay attention to this. Quote, once a country has a democratic regime, its level of economic development has a very strong effect on the probability that democracy will survive. Democracy can be expected to last an average of about 8.5 years in a country with per capita income under $1,000 per annum. 16 years in one with income between 1,000 and 2,000. 33 years between 2,000 and 4,000, and 100 years between 4,000 and 6,000. Above 6,000, democracies are impregnable and can be expected to live forever. And it asserts that no democratic system has fallen in a country where per capita income exceeds $6,055. End of quote. Fellow Nigerians, the above quote should make each one of us to pause and ponder. Between 1,000 and 2,000, democracy is expected. Some years ago, per capita income in Nigeria had risen to over 2,500, even 3,200. We were then on the path to that sustainable path where you'll expect it to live 300 years and so on. But bingo, something has happened over the last 10 years. That is compression of our national income. We are now at about 50% of where it was 2014. And per capita population ballooning and per capita income is now at about 1,200. Per capita income is now compressed again back to about 1,200. And therefore, yes, that empirical evidence might not be destiny, but if the correlation is as strong as stated above, then its predictive power implies that with Nigeria's current per capita income of about 1,200, then the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria will require an extraordinary effort. Something just to get us to think. I've written quite about this, but if you look at our checkered history, I will just take you we can spend a whole day talking about where we are and how we got here. But there's no space to do that. But our checkered history so far makes me to conclude that we have made so much progress while still standing still. Made so much progress, but literally seem to still be standing stress. And let me admit the fact that it's not so many of us Nigerians don't appreciate. Nigeria is a very poor country, and its public finance is broken. We're a very poor country. I've just said about the per capita income, 1,200. We're in the lower rung of the low middle income countries. We are back there. We were escalating, but we are back. But I will say a few things. Space and time won't allow us to provide all the details. For over the last 50 years, especially since the first oil boom, when this country, we have much of our economic management has been responding to the volatility in the oil sector. If at any point we can artificially keep the exchange rate, as low as we want, we can fix it to 1 naira to $1 artificially today, and bingo, you'll be the richest economy in the world in dollar terms. But does that make any sense? I like your treatise, Mr. Speaker, as I was telling you a moment ago. Very interesting. I wish we could have time to discuss that, but I just whispered to him that part of what will happen when I was governor of Central Bank, I'm the governor and one who served as governor of Central Bank when exchange rate moved down from about 138 until 112 to the dollar. And we built foreign reserve from 10 billion to all-time 63 billion. And with the stable and so on and so forth. But one thing we didn't do, we didn't print trillions of naira and poured it in there. Indeed, there was a particular incident when the federal government wanted to borrow, take ways and means from central bank. And the law allows the governor to fix the interest rate. And I charged them a penal rate and took our own interest up front. Because the law requires us to give them if they needed it, but it must not exceed 5% of the previous year's actual revenue of the federal government. And they must pay it back by the 31st of December. Otherwise, central bank is forbidden by law from extending further ways and means to the federal government. That's the law. It's still the law. The 2007 CBN Act. But here we were. We printed, and if we obeyed that law, there should have been no time when ways and means advances to the federal government should have exceeded more than 300 billion. But we kept printing. We printed the first 1 trillion. The federal government didn't pay. We printed the second. 5, 10, 20, 22. Printed money backed by nothing and put into the system, and we expect the exchange rate to remain the same when you are exporting nothing. We expect inflation to remain the same when you are having nothing. We expect this. Gentlemen, you can't pour a drum of water on a rug and expect it to remain dry. We must get down. I mean, but I don't have time to get onto all of this. But all I have said,